Many people of African descent have an abhorrence to reading. They are generally afraid and concerned about reading. Sometimes I feel that reading is like kryptonite. Like Superman is afraid of kryptonite. Africans are afraid of books. I used to work in a bookshop in Dalston 25 years ago. And this brother used to come in, enormous brother. He's about 6'5.5", like this enormous brother. And when he came in, his shadow covered the whole shop. And this brother used to come into the shop and stand there at the corner. How you doing? He said, yeah. Oh, there's a book. I said, yeah, this place is full of books. Oh, there's this book. It's called Destruction of Black Civilization. I said, yeah, it's a good book. And he would go to the corner of the bookshop in which this book was. Brilliant book, written by Chancellor Williams. And he'd touch the cover of the book, Destruction of Black Civilization. And I said, well, why don't you buy it? He said, oh, I can't buy it. My church says I shouldn't read it. I said, but listen, it's only a book. Oh. And then he'd break out into a sweat. And the sweat would start from the top of his head, probably to the tip of his toes. The sweat would break out profusely. Now he's sweating and he's panicking. He's having a panic attack over this book. And he's feeling the cover of the book. Oh, but I want to buy it. I said, well, buy it then. Oh, but I can't. I said, well, why don't you have a look at it? He said, can I? I said, yes, you can. Oh, this book. And then he started to read it like it's some sort of pornographic material. And he'd open up the chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter... Oh, and he said this. I said, yes, he said this. And chapter 5, chapter 6. Oh, and he said this. Yes, he said, oh, I'd really like to buy it. Why don't you buy it? I can't. And so it would go on like this for some time, with him becoming more and more excitable, sweating profusely and becoming excited over the prospect of this book. This book clearly had an effect upon his very being. We shouldn't be like that. I say to people to read anything and everything you can. And I do mean anything and everything you can. From Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, to the Bible, to the Quran, read everything you can. Only by reading as widely as you can do you expand your consciousness, your understanding, your knowledge. And I believe that all knowledge has benefit. And I do mean all knowledge. What makes human beings so powerful is their capacity to obtain, receive, produce, and pass on knowledge. So the historian is the custodian of the human race. The historian is the one who writes down the stories of the human race and teaches human beings about their own humanity. Historians are the ones who pass on the legacy of history to human beings and provide human beings with the understanding of what they yet may be. So book learning, rote learning, is a fundamental aspect of all human development, not just whether you want to be an academic, not simply because of being an African, but all human beings, everybody on this planet is meant to study and learn things. That's how human beings rose from their primeval swamp to the position that they are now in.